My name's Cannon Baldridge. I'm an entrepreneur, a husband, and a father. And if you're someone who wants to step out and start something new, then this is for you. I grew up in Willis, Texas, a small town about an hour north of Houston, and my dad was a general contractor. We grew up on job sites, digging trenches, doing little touch-up work, anything we could do to help out. But as we got older, we got to do more cool things like electrical, plumbing, and framing. Everything I learned in that regard, I learned from my dad. However, my dad didn't want the same limitations for my brother and I that he had faced himself. And so he told us that we were going to college. And that's what we did. I ended up at a college in Southern California in Santa Clarita called the Masters University. And it was there that I earned my Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration with an emphasis in finance. I also got to study the Bible. I even studied abroad in Israel, which was an amazing experience. It was while I was in California that I met the love of my life. But I actually didn't know that yet. We were just friends. After 4 years of college, I graduated and I moved back to Texas, where I picked back up doing construction with my dad. When COVID hit, I switched to the telecommunications industry and I began to climb cell towers all over Texas. I worked in the lines and antennas division as a tower hand for 1.5 years. It was around that time that I decided to marry that girl that I had met when I was in college. And after getting married in Texas, we moved back out to the Golden State. Now, when I came out here, I had no job lined up, and I ended up working in the auto finance industry for about a year. But at the end of that year, I started to think that there might be something else out there for me. So I talked to my wife. I talked about the possibility of building a business from the ground up, of starting something that we could call our own. And she thought that sounded like a good idea. So I started looking at the different industries, just trying to see where I could get my foot in the door and where I could get started. It was at that time that a friend of mine reached out to me and asked me, "Have you ever thought about being a general contractor?" And the truth was, I had a lot of experience in construction, but it just hadn't occurred to me at that point. This same friend had a connection in the construction industry that he wanted to help us leverage by partnering with us. So we went into business with our friend as partners. He brought a lot of business experience, and he also had connections that could help our company move to the next level quickly. And I was the one that was coming with the experience and the sweat equity. However, after just 6 months, we hit a little bit of a roadblock. Business partnerships are hard. It takes two people that are an extremely good fit for one another and a lot of good communication and give and take. We realized that this partnership just wasn't a good fit for us. It was a hard call, but we walked away from it. So there I was, no leads, no industry connections, and no real experience running a company. Remember, our partner had brought all the business experience and the industry connections to the picture. I even went out and interviewed with a local plumbing contractor to see if I could get a job as a project engineer. They actually offered me the job. But I talked to my wife, and after a lot of conversation and a lot of prayer, we decided that we wanted to give this construction thing one more shot. While I didn't have a lot of business experience or industry connections, I did have a contractor's license. I did have a good work ethic, and I also had my amazing wife. Thankfully, she had a job that could financially float our family while I went out and tried to start this business from scratch. And I will forever be grateful for that, because without it, I would have never been able to put the time and attention I did into the company, and we would have never grown at the rate we did. And we worked for anyone and everyone that would hire us. Friends, family, friends of friends, church connections, anyone that would give us a shot, we took it. I joined local Facebook groups where people in the community would post things that they needed done at their house. I would comment on their posts. I would DM them, and I would say, "Hey, I'm a licensed general contractor. Come let me work for you." We did pergolas, we painted fences, we repaired drywall. We took over job sites where clients had fired their old contractors and left the job site for us to clean up. And we charged way less than we should, but we didn't know any better. One thing that my old business partner taught me is some jobs you earn and other jobs you learn. And we did a lot of learning at this time. But over time, we started building connections and we started gaining traction. But most importantly, we stayed true to our core values, one of which is integrity. One day I was in line at Home Depot buying lumber for a project, and the cashier undercharged me for my lumber. I let him know because I didn't want to be unethical in the way that I bought material for my job sites. It turns out that that cashier actually worked for a large nonprofit in the area. He got my information, gave it to the nonprofit, and we ended up doing hundreds of thousands of dollars of work for them over the next couple years, all because we stuck to our core values. Once a friend invited me to a networking group, and it was there that I made a ton of industry connections and ended up with a lot of work coming from those connections. At this point, we're doing a lot of kitchen and bath, full interior remodels, additions, and expansions, and we love doing that kind of work. We still have a long way to go, but we are so thankful for how far we've come. So why am I talking about this? Why am I sharing this? The truth is that starting something can be hard. It can be lonely. It can be scary. And I would love to be a resource for anyone who might just be a couple of steps behind me. And for those ahead of me, I want to be an encouragement and a reminder of what it looks like to start small, work hard, and do it right. One of the greatest lessons I've learned and one of the deepest ways that I've grown through this experience is independence on my Lord and my Savior, Jesus Christ. Psalm 127:1 says, "Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain." I want to thank you for joining me, and I cannot wait to see where this journey takes us. I'll see you out there.